Freddie was growing concerned, however. The intensity of her passion, he worried that it wasn't good for her and urged her to think less of him each day. Freddie's letters became less frequent, much to Edith's distress. But when Freddie returned from sea in September 1922, their passion for each other overwhelmed all other considerations. From the affair nearly ending, now their love was rekindled with a new intensity. It was a matter of days before Freddie was due back at sea. However, something was about to happen that would change the course of their lives and be discussed for decades to come. Frederick Bywater's emotions soon overtook him, and he was about to make a truly horrific decision that would be the cause of so many unnecessary deaths. The story of Edith Thompson and Frederick Bywaters would play out like a Shakespearean tragedy. Edith would find herself helpless in a system massively stacked against her. And yet in the same year, another infamous murder case involving a woman who had actually shot and killed her husband would see her stunningly acquitted and allowed to walk free. Edith would not be so lucky. Edith Thompson's marriage to her husband Percy had seemingly broken beyond repair. She was part of a new wave of women who had emerged at the end of the First World War, and her modern lifestyle seemed incompatible with the unadventurous and at times aggressive Percy. She had begun an affair with Frederick Bywaters, whom she'd known for many years, and who was still only a teenager. It soon developed into a passionate romance. But that intense love affair was about to have disastrous consequences when it became clearer to Freddie that the conventions of the era made it impossible for them to be together. The 3rd of October, 1922. London is cold and damp. Edith and Freddie meet for lunch. She feels guilty. She has plans for the evening she can't get out of. She has to go to the theatre with her husband, her aunt and uncle. Then she joins her husband and accompanies him to the Criterion, where they watch a farce, The Dippers, and they all leave the theatre at 10:45. As the party are making their separate ways, Freddie is leaving Edith's parents' house after dinner, where he's been with some old friends. His imminent return to sea looms large in his mind. The reality of his situation is brought into sharper focus. Percy and Edith return from the theatre to Ilford just before midnight. There was under a mile between the train station and their home. Percy dies on the street that night. A distraught, confused Edith is taken home. She barely seems to realize that her husband is dead.
Freddie was about to go back to sea, and he knew that they'd gone to theatre, and he'd had a drink or two, and suddenly his jealousy and fury about Percy, I think, overtook him. And in the heat of the moment, he draws a knife. He stabbed him a number of times and then ran away.
It's late in the morning on the day after the attack when they come to Edith to take a statement. She lies to the police. She doesn't mention seeing Freddie or anyone else attack her husband. And shortly afterwards, she's taken to Ilford Police Station for further questioning.
Tell me about the incident.
We went to work as normal. We said we would meet at 5:45.
Where?
At Aldersgate Street. We then met my aunt and uncle at the Criterion, the theatre. This silly play was on. We left the theatre at about 11, the four of us. We were all getting the tube from Piccadilly Circus. Percy and I went on to Liverpool Street, and then we caught the 11:30 train to Ilford. It arrived about midnight. We then started walking home as normal.
What route?
Along York Road, then Belgrave. We had just got to between De Vere and Ensley Gardens. We were walking on the right-hand side, and then Percy went into the roadway. I went in after him. He fell up against me. He was staggering, bleeding.
From where? Where was the blood coming from?
His mouth, I thought.
You did not see anyone else? No other person was present?
I can't remember seeing anyone. There certainly wasn't anyone when he fell up against me, I know that. I got hold of him with both hands, and I helped him over to the wall. He stood for a minute or two, and then he slid down onto the footway. He never spoke.
And where were you at this time?
I fell down onto the ground with him.
You did not shout out or scream, or... You cannot remember?
No.
I see.
The police knew that Percy's mutilated body told a completely different story. The attack on Belgrave Road had resulted in 8 wounds to his side, another along his arm, with more cuts sliced on his chin and jaw. But it was the 3 deep wounds to his neck that were fatal. One penetrated the floor of Percy's mouth, another severed the carotid artery. It had been a frenzied, violent assault.
Percy had been stabbed several times, and one of the wounds was a serious wound in his neck. Edith ran for help to the neighbours. A doctor came, examined Percy, who was at that time in a bad way.
Edith clearly had no idea this was going to happen. She was absolutely horrified. She was saying, "Oh no, don't," you know, and people could hear this.
Edith may have been trying to protect Freddie, or may have still been in complete shock over the incident. Whatever the reason, she was maintaining a version of events that simply could not have happened.
I got up off the ground and I ran along to Cortlandt Avenue. I was going to call Dr. Maudsley, but I met this lady and gentleman first. I told them to get a doctor, that my husband was ill, something like that.
Words to that effect.
The gentleman said he would go. Yeah. There was this whole crowd by the time the doctor arrived. He took so long. He had a look at Percy.
And?
And he told me he was dead. An ambulance came, took him away. I didn't. They took me home. 2 policemen. They took me.
The press were crawling all over the streets of Ilford. Local newspapers, such as the Ilford Recorder, were soon joined by the nationals. All sought out witnesses, family friends, acquaintances, anyone who would speak about the murdered man and the wife being held for questioning by the police. But it wasn't just the newspapers who were interested in the very personal details of Edith's life. The police knew they needed to find someone with a motive for the attack.
Do you know a man named Frederick Bywaters?
Yes. Yes, I've known him several years. We were at school together. Well, we weren't. I wasn't, I mean, but my brothers were. Freddie works on ships now.
Freddie?
He's away a lot at sea.
Do you see him when he's home?
At my parents'. He visits my family. He's always done that. He was at school with my brothers.
Yes, you said. Mr. Bywaters was a lodger of you and your husband for a period last year, was he not? From the 18th of June.
He came as a paying guest.
Yes.
He paid 25 shillings a week.
I see. Well, he was with you from June the 18th till the beginning of August 1921.
Yes.
That August bank holiday, do you remember?
Yes.
That weekend, did anything happen?
It was nothing.
Well, you quarrelled with your husband, did you not?
It was an argument. It was nothing.
He did not throw you across the room?
I knocked over a chair.
He did not hit you? Freddie Bywaters rescued you, did he not?
He intervened.
Well, on your behalf. Why do you suppose he did that?
I don't know.
He was angry with Percy.
He was trying to help.
Well, Percy was angry too. He told him to leave.
I don't know.
He kicked him out.
It wasn't like that. Freddie and Percy were friends.
No, Bywaters did leave, though. Did he not?
Yes.
So something must have happened.
It was just an argument. They were friends.